Hello and welcome to the history of Mad Max. Omega Ordain coming at you with the Chevy Bel Air 4-door sedan, 1959. And here we go. The red vehicle with the orange flames being run down by Toe Cutter and his gang is a Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door sedan from 1959. There seems to be a lot of confusion as to what this vehicle actually is. Oftentimes it is described as a Chevy Impala. This cannot be the case, however, because Impalas had been imported to Australia in 1965, 6 years after the release of the model seen in Mad Max. The 1959 Chevy Bel Airs made for the Australian market were built from components imported from Canada and assembled locally by hand on the GMH Holden assembly lines in Australia. Complete rolling chassis were supplied from Canada, whereas bodies were assembled in Australia, painted and fitted with glass and leather trim. The right-hand dashboard was a mirror image of the 1959 Chevy panel and shared equivalent with right-hand drive Pontiac models. Australian-built Bel Airs were easy to identify by factory-installed amber indicator lights under the rear wing behind the grille. Their color, mandated by Australian law. Holden-built plates was also visible on the firewall. 1959 Impalas, later imported to Australia, lacked those features. The vehicle was powered by a 235 horsepower 6-cylinder engine and a Power Glide automatic transmission. Before Mad Max was filmed, the 1959 Bel Air briefly belonged to Ken James, who was quoted as saying back in 1977, "After catching a train from Melbourne to Sydney to visit my parents, I quickly grew to hate trains and intended to buy a car to make the trip back to Melbourne. A very quick look in the newspaper and I found a Chevrolet advertised for sale on that weekend only. I telephoned the owner, who informed me that the car was too big for him in the city and he wanted to get rid of it. 2 hours later, I was standing there looking at a '59 Impala 4-door. It was the original gray in color and appeared to be in immaculate condition. A deal was struck and I purchased the car on the spot for $120. Ken James. Ken quickly realized the cost of owning such a fuel-hungry vehicle and decided to trade it in for a Holden. Upon realizing how rare the Bel Air was, Ken went to buy the vehicle back from the car yard, but it was already too late. A movie production company bought the car. Having connections in the TV business, Ken found out that the car was used in Mad Max and was destroyed. The only consolation was the destruction was immortalized on film. The vehicle was roughly painted red, with orange flames on the side and bonnet. The paint was applied quickly and in a sloppy fashion, which is visible in certain shots of the movie, revealing the paint drops and poor quality of the paint job. 8 pipes were riveted into the bonnet, giving it a hot rod style exhaust or intake. But the illusion is quickly shattered when Toe Cutter and his gang quickly knocks off the chrome pipes. The fact that the car was powered by a 6-cylinder engine did not help in maintaining the bluff, custom car image. Ken James remembers this vehicle as being in almost prime pristine condition, which is contrary to what the movie makers George Miller and Byron Kennedy has to say about it. According to them, the vehicle was on its last legs and was difficult to keep running. Some proof of that can be found in Mad Max after the vehicle's rusty fuel spills on the road. The vehicle is first seen during the Toe Cutter's gang arrival into a small town. A couple sleeping in this car become terrified after watching the gang terrorizing the town and decide to run away. Unfortunately, their vehicle passed Toe Cutter himself almost immediately. As a result, the gang chased it down the road. The vehicle could not outrun the biker gang and was run down the road and destroyed. The wreckage of this vehicle later makes an appearance in the halls of justice, being described by one of the onlookers as being chewed up and spat out. Thank you for watching the history of Mad Max. Special thanks to the Mad Max Wiki and all its contributors for all information you heard today. Very special thanks to my Patreons and to Royalty Free Tube for this fantastic background. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.